guitar buddies, that was the David Bowie classic TVC15. So in the intro we've got a very classic sort of standard 12 bar blues sequence. So we're kind of, it's in the key of C, so we've got boom, just C to F7 to C, G7, F7, C. Okay, classic sequence. You probably all know that already. All right, so and obviously there I'm kind of just filling the chords in because it's a piano on the track. So I'm just doing that, and then on the main guitar I was kind of playing those chords too, but adding in a few of those little piano fills. So I was going. So I just played a C as a sort of snappier bar chord. And then the little sort of piano lick is just doing a little pull off from E flat, D, C, A, C. So 8, 7, 5 on G, 7 on D, back to 5. Do that twice. And going to an F9 chord, which is a nice chord as the second chord in a blues progression. So instead of just an F7, a little more interesting with an F9. So that's your classic kind of James Brown chord there. So that's 8 on A, 7 on D, then a bar with your third finger across the top 3 strings on 8. Again, just playing that same lick there. And then again, the piano seems to play a little chromatic bit there. So I went boom. So just playing the top 3 strings again on 8. then going on the G string 9, 10, 11. So back to that. So I got, then playing the full chord. So I went, which is kind of similar to something that the piano's playing, and then back to the C. Or the G I was playing. So a little, that seems to be what the piano's playing. So if I play a G7 by playing 3 on D, then 4, 2, 2, then just using 3 and 5, 6, 5, 3, 5. So then back to the F7, F9. Okay, so that's just, you know, just putting in a few little fills there. So kind of, you know, if you've not got a piano player, you're covering it. That's one way to do it. Okay, but, you know, find your own way. You know, there's lots of variations you could play around with that. It's a very classic kind of C 12-bar blues. Okay, and then the kind of main section is, we've got like 6 bars of C. And over that I'm playing. So over that C chord, I'm playing little hammer, 6 to 7, E flat to E. Then it's very much the kind of C major pentatonic here. So I've got 5, 7, 5, 7. As a little hammer, which works. Back to C, back to D. 7, 5, 7. So then again, just a variation on that. That's the same. Then C, or 5, 7, or D. Back to that C. I play 3 of those. Okay, and then we've goes to an F chord. Okay, so I'm playing F there, you can see on the playthrough. But so I'm just playing that first one. Yeah, so maybe just land on the F there on 10. Just taking the same riff basically. Now starting on 11 to 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10. And then it goes to an F minor, and then over that. So what I'm playing there, and again, it'll play it slightly differently each time, but basically something like a little fill. So basically got C, D, E flat, little bend, release, and I noticed maybe that C just kind of does this double bend. So bend the B flat on 15 up to C. Oops. Yeah. Oh, I'm playing it a fret too high. Yeah, look what I'm doing. So yeah. So basically that. Something like that. You know, any little fill, you know, around those notes of C, D, E flat, 13, 15 and 16, and also F there on 13, top 2 strings, gonna work. You know, just on that, because it just works over that F minor chord. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically, does that. Then he does it all again, okay? All that. And then we go to an E chord. So I'm playing 1 there. And here I'm playing, again, due to that pentatonic scale, playing an E and then little fill there. Slide from 9 to 11. Then 9 and 11 on D. Land on the E on 9. On the G string. And then I was playing a G7 chord. okay, on the kind of rhythm guitar, and I'm playing here funky G9 chord. I put a little fill in, which seems to be what one of the guitars is playing there. Just sliding up to 12, top 3 strings, 11, back to 10. So it's a nice fill on a 9th chord. Yeah. And then that all repeats, okay? And then we go into this transmission section, which basically, the first 4 bars are of an F chord. But with I'm playing an F and an A in the bass on the main guitar there on 5, and adding my little finger there on 8 to get that F, but it's mainly the bottom note. Yeah, and then when it goes to an A, transmission, okay, it changes to an A chord, A major, and then basically just again playing an A bar chord, just muting it like that. And then we go into the main chorus section, which is just 2 chords. My TVC1 C, 5 D, C, TVC15, C, TVC15. And got a little more distortion on the guitar. I'm playing. Stop. So I'm just playing root 5th root, C, G, C, C, G, C, 3, 3, 3 on the A and E strings. Moving up to 5 for the D, back to 3 for the C. Okay. And then basically all those sections, I think the order changes slightly, but once you've learned all those sections, that's the rest of the song. Okay, so they all kind of repeat again. You get the 12 bar, you get all the different bits again, that sort of playing out, and great song. So we'll take a look next at the bass. I'm starting the bass with this little one. So C, G, F, E. So I'm playing 5 on the G string, 5 on D, 3 on D, 2 on D. Then we're going to the main kind of section. And I also doubled that up on the guitar as well. So I was playing on the G string to the D string. And also on the other guitar playing. So I didn't go down 3 octaves, 3, 3, 1 open. Okay. So that's what I played on the intro there, on the guitar and bass. And then we're into kind of classic kind of 12 bar kind of bass playing here. So we've got, it's all basically root 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Okay. So we've got C, E, G, A, G. So that's your first bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, man. So 3, 2, 5, 2, 5. Start on the A string. Then go to the C. 5 on G, 2 on D, 5, 2, back to 5. So, yeah, so boom, bum, boo, da, ba, da. Then boom, bum, boo, da, ba, da, 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 da. So the second time it's just kind of the same. Boom, boom. And as the before, then you go to 5, the high C, A, G, 2, 5, and then because we're leading to the F here, we go. So it's C, E, 3, 2. That E's kind of leading you to that F. And then you got F, A, C, D, C. So again, it's all root 3rd, 5th, 6th, 5th. 3, open A, 3, 5, 3. And then again. And this time you've got a little chromatic passing note. So F, A, C, D, D flat, because that's leading you back to the C. Yeah. And then boom, 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 da, boom. So that's the same again. Boom, 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 da, boom, and then da, boom, boom, boom. And then again, you've got a little lead section to the next chord change. So you've got C, E, F, F sharp, which is taking you to that G. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got dum, boom, boom, bum. So again, just root, third, fifth root, G, B, D, G. 5 on D, 2 on A, 5 on A. Back to the G on 5, boom, boom, boom. And then you've got the F. So you've got, yeah. So you've got F, A, C, D, F. So that's very easy. 3, open, 3, open, 3. That first one again. Then going down. Then go do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. C, A, G, E, D. And that's leading you into the next section, that D, to take you to the C. Okay? But to be honest, if you played, I'm sure the second time it goes back into the 12 bar, won't play exactly the same, but it's just that style of all that kind of stuff. You know, all that kind of classic blues bass playing there is what you've got in that section. And then we're into that main section of the song. Okay, and what we've got there is, so 1. So here we're just playing 3 notes. G, so it's C, G, and A. So it's 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, and then 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, and then you go to on the F chord. You play that 6 times basically. So well 3 really, because it's 2 bars. Goes slightly different. So it's 2 bars of that. That around 3 times. So you play once. And then you got over the F minor chord. So you're playing F, C, 3, 5, A flat. So that's just your 3 chord tones of F minor. Okay, F, 3, 5, 6. Then to take you back to the C, G, E flat, D, 5 on D, 6, 5. Then you're back into exactly as before what you played. Okay, then you repeat all that again, but then the second time when you get to that F minor, so you've got a change there. We've got the introduction of an E and a G chord. So so it's slightly different here. We've got F, C, A flat, F, A flat, G. Yeah, 3, 5, 3. So 3, 5, 6. Sorry, 3, 6, 5. Then on the E chord, 2, 2. 2 on D, 2 on A. Ba, 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 ba. So then ba, 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 ba. Go to the G chord, E, F, F sharp, G, just grammatically, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then to the 5th, G to D, back to G, 5, 5, 5. So bam, boom, bam. 5, 5, 5. Then to the 7th, F to the 5th. Then you're back into kind of repeating that whole thing again. Okay, so repeat that, and then when you come out the second time, on the sort of transmission section, you got. So on that little transmission, what we've got here is so you're going over the F chord, you play F, C, D, E flat. Boom, boom, ba ba bam, boom, ba ba bam, boom, ba ba bam, boom. So 3, 3, 5, 6 on D and A. And the fourth time you go da, boo, ba ba ba, boo. So instead of you go to an A chord, so you're leading that with G, G sharp, A, boom, ba ba ba, boom. So it's 5, 6, 7, 7, 5, 6, 7, 7. Okay, so 4 bars of that, and then you're just into the kind of chorus section. And at first it just plays da 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 da. Okay, slight that D just comes in a little earlier the first time it seems, but basically it's just a C to a D to a C. And then after a couple of times of that, you kind of double the guitar. So instead of just playing C, you play da ba ba da ba da da ba da da ba da. So you're playing C G C C G C D A D. So it's a third fret on the A and E strings to the fifth, back to the third. Okay, nice and simple that. All right, so then we're kind of back into just all those sections, basically repeat again, very much the same. And great song, always love a bit of Bowie, and thanks for requesting it. And as always, thanks for watching, buddies. Cheers.